Cleaning sucks. Maybe I'm the only one that feels this way, but I've never been a fan. Part of the reason I never took to it is because every time I Googled a cleaning schedule to try and follow, there were so many tasks on there that I would get overwhelmed. It would be like Mondays are bathrooms, Tuesdays are bedrooms. That's a lot, especially if you're a young working mother. I never got past a week before I gave up. So then I created my own that was more realistic. Now, remember, I always say that you create systems for the worst version of yourself, not the fantasy one with lots of energy, the one that's depressed or busy or exhausted. So when I created a cleaning schedule for the worst version of myself, I found I was able to stick to it. You see, sadly, what I found in my years as a wife, mother, and homeowner is that cleaning has to be done every day. It does. But it doesn't have to be like super ambitious cleaning, like cleaning out the microwave or wiping down the windows. No, the cleaning that has to be done every day is more like surfacey stuff. I call it maintenance cleaning. These are the tasks that if you slack off on, you will notice. Messes will pile up quickly. Daily functions will be impeded. So, what are my daily maintenance cleaning tasks? If you've followed me for any length of time, you already know the answer, so I'll just give you a second to comment it. Let's see how many of you are right. If you said the daily 6, you would be absolutely correct. The daily 6 is the top part of my cleaning schedule. It's called the 610 list. I have it linked down in the description box. You can also Google it. There's been lots of articles written about it, but these are all high impact, low effort tasks. There are 6 things that I make a priority every day, and then I put everything else out of my mind for the time being. It's a very simple approach, but it helps you stay focused. And now for me, my daily 6 takes me less than 30 minutes. It's going to be different for every house. The more frequently you do them, the easier they are to complete or the quicker they are to complete. Now, I don't even do all the 6 myself every day. In this video, I'm doing the majority of them because I'm filming, but typically the kids and my husband take care of most of them on their own. And that's the beauty of it too. There's only 6 things. And if you stick them on the fridge or something, they start to become routine. And then everyone in the house doesn't have to ask like, what do you want me to clean? What do you want me to pick up? Like they just need to go look at the list and pick something and do it. That's typically how our house works. I've done a video on the daily 6 before from a different perspective. I did it as if it was like your house shutdown routine. And that's basically how my daily 6 operates. Like I'll make the beds typically first thing in the morning, but most of the other tasks I'm getting done later in the day. So you can do this as a house shutdown. You can do it throughout the day. Sometimes I will also do these tasks multiple times a day, just depending. That's the beauty of the daily 6 is that it keeps your house manageable so that you have more energy and more time to tackle some of these other tasks or even just the daily 6 repeatedly throughout the day. Like it helps you find little pockets of time to tackle other projects. So like I said, the very first thing on the daily 6 is to make beds. Now, this video is deceiving. When I make my bed, it's literally as simple as pulling up the sheets, straightening the pillows, adjusting my duvet. That's it. I mean, I'm done making my bed in under 2 minutes. But typically my first cleaning task of the day is in fact making my bed. The next task I'm going to do every single day is wash my dishes. I have a dishwasher. So for me, this looks like unloading and reloading my dishwasher for the most part. I do have a handful of hand wash only items, not very many. Now on a typical day, my son, my 10-year-old, unloads the dishwasher every single day. Rarely am I doing it myself. Again, because I'm filming, I'm doing it myself, but he typically does it. If you've watched like my clean or cook with me video, clean as I go video, you know that the dishwasher always has to be loaded before I start cooking, as well as the sink emptied. So those are tasks that naturally fall before dinner time for me. Some of the other tasks might kind of be random, but that is a task that always has to be done before dinner starts. Now, anyone in the comments or anyone watching that doesn't have a dishwasher, hopefully somebody else can kind of illuminate what they do, what their process looks like, because it's going to be different. I used to not have a dishwasher when we were first married, and in our first home, we didn't have one. And then in the house that we lost in the house fire, there was a little period of time, probably like a year or two, where we didn't have a dishwasher. Ours broke and we just were saving up to get a new one. So there was a spurt of time where I had to hand wash everything. And so my processes looked different. Dinner looked different. Like we always had simpler meals, sheet pan meals, crock pot meals, like whatever was the least amount of dishes. Like that's what we would do. We ate off paper plates a lot. So hopefully somebody else that doesn't have a dishwasher can help give tips and advice for those that are struggling and have a and do not have a dishwasher. Now in my video about cooking and how to clean as you go when you cook, I explain the reasons why you need an empty sink to begin cooking. So I'll link that down in the description box. Go watch it if you haven't. But besides that, a clean sink instantly makes a kitchen look cleaner. Even ignoring the functional reasons why you need to have an empty sink all the time, just the pure aesthetics, the pure look of a kitchen. It will always look dirty if you have a sink full of dishes, even if your counters are cleaned off. If you do not have a clean sink, your kitchen is going to look messy. It's probably going to smell as well, because we all know that dishes can smell. I don't know if you ever see like those videos of people that need to clean their really messy houses, and they'll go to clean their kitchen and there's like mold in their sink because they just leave dishes like for days on end. Like, no, if we want to stop odors, we have to have a clean sink. And if you are like me and you're blessed with a dishwasher, it's one of the most low effort, high impact tasks there are, right? Because the dishwasher does all the work. And like I always say, don't wait until you have a full dishwasher to run it. If you have some stuff and you want to wash it before dinner, like you want to go ahead and do a small load after lunch, get those put away so that you're ready at dinner time. Do that. By all means, do that. Like, it's so worth it. But just make sure you always have a clean sink. And if you have a dishwasher that's ready to load all the time, it encourages people to not put their dishes in the sink, but rather to put them directly in the dishwasher. Once you get your sink emptied, at least once a day, you need to be scrubbing your sink. If you don't scrub your sink after you've emptied it, it's like flossing without brushing, or vice versa. It takes very little additional time because we're already standing at the sink. We have dish soap accessible. We have a scrubber accessible. So it's just as simple as just spraying it down and scrubbing it. The longer you let food, grime, and things sit on your sink, the harder it will be to keep it clean. I always say that you can either make something a task or a chore. If you do something frequently, it's a task. If you put something off, it becomes a chore because it's much harder to clean it, right? Or to do the task. So scrubbing the sink is a really good example of a task or a chore. You can either do it once a day and it's a simple task and it takes 30 seconds, or you can put it off and you get yuckies all over the sink, maybe even rust or whatever builds up, calcium, and then it becomes a chore to deal with. So keep that in mind, task versus chore. Okay, so far my tasks that I'm doing every single day: make my bed, empty my sink, scrub my sink. The next one, just as easy, I wipe down my counters. A dirty counter is my biggest pet peeve. I mean, it makes me physically cringe. All the stuff that gets put on your counters, they are a dumping zone for everything. Especially nowadays, a lot of us have open plan homes. So our kitchens are open to the rest of the house. So it's not just a spot for food, it's a spot for papers and keys and mail and change and so much yuckiness. The thing I always think of is like, I grew up like this, and it's like my biggest pet peeve. But like, let's say someone made like toast and they got a little bit of jelly on the counter and then it's like sticky now. Or let's say the toast crumbs are on the counter and then you set a paper down. Now your paper has like jelly on it, like sticky jelly. The breadcrumbs have like soaked like grease into your paper. So then there's like marks from the breadcrumbs on your paper. I mean, maybe I'm the only one, but it's the absolute worst. So just that alone, like knowing that your counters are not just for food, they're going to be used for other things. You want to keep them wiped down. And now when I say wipe counters, in my mind, the best version of me Also, we'll walk into the bathroom and wipe down the bathroom counter because that should also be wiped down every day, like the bathroom counter and sink. I don't always get to it, but in a perfect world, I'm wiping those down as well because it doesn't take much time. The next thing I'm making sure I do every single day is OLAD. That's one load of laundry. It stands for one load a day. So one load of laundry every single day. Now you can, like I always say with all of my tips, take them and adjust them to fit your life. So for me, we go through enough clothes to have a load every single day, like a decent sized load. I hear people online be like, how could you possibly have that much clothes that you can do that? And then I have other people that are like, oh, I could do multiple a day, you know? So just tweak it to fit your life. For us, we have one bath towel and minimal clothing. So it makes sense that we're running the washer multiple times a day because we need clothes and towels and things, right? I don't sort my clothes. I never have. I don't care if that grosses you out. Guess what? You're not in my house using my towels or wearing my clothes or whatever. So it can gross you out all at once. For me, it's about just getting the job done. And because I don't sort, I'm able to get the job done quicker. So I've never had an issue with bleeding. I know you can use like color guard things to avoid that. I've never had a problem with it. And now it just depends on my mood and my energy level. I might stand at the dryer and fold the clothes and get them sorted. I might sit down. In this video, I'm sitting down because I was a little tired on this day. But like today, as I'm doing this voiceover, I stood at the dryer and did the laundry. So like it just depends. Like do whatever you want. Just be wary if you use laundry baskets. You need to make sure, like you need to make a promise to yourself to go ahead and get the clothes put away because laundry baskets are like really notorious clutter catchers. Because we can just stick laundry in there and then stick it aside and not worry about it again, right? So if you're going to put laundry in a laundry basket, please make sure you're also emptying that same laundry basket every day. But just remember, laundry is a river, not a lake. It never ends. It's constantly flowing. You have to stay on top of it, whether that be one load a day, whether that be one load every 2 or 3 days. That's up to you, but just keep that in mind. If you want to stay on top of it, you need to do it frequently. Like I said, I don't sort. I don't fold like the kids. I do my 2-year-old's laundry, obviously. And I don't fold his clothes. My 10-year-old does his own laundry. He does not fold. He just tosses stuff into his bins. They don't come out looking wrinkled because he doesn't overstuff his bins and he's constantly going through his clothes because he has minimal clothing. So they don't have time to really get wrinkled, but that's what works for us. Do what works for you. Those are just my tips about that. So I make my bed. I empty my sink. I scrub my sink. I wipe down my counters. I do one load of laundry and then I vacuum. Now, this does not mean I vacuum my whole house. Absolutely not. What I do with my vacuum is I go over any noticeable debris. So I'll take my stick vac or my vac mop, just depending on how I'm feeling. And I will sweep up any like big chunks of debris because they can get trampled and then pushed around and then your floors are even dirtier. So I try to kind of do a little preventative clean with my vacuum and just get the big crumbs. I typically do vacuum my living room rug every night. It's lighter so you can see the dirt on it and I just want to keep it looking nice. And my son usually snacks throughout the day, so he always gets crumbs on the rug. So and it's a small rug, like just a little area rug, so I do go ahead and vacuum that. But like I said, I don't go crazy with the vacuum. It's a couple minutes maybe just over those noticeable areas and then that's it. One final thing I do that's not on the daily 6 is I reset rooms when I'm leaving them. So for instance, if my 2-year-old has a bunch of toys out in the living room, before we go for nap time, before we go eat lunch, whatever, we will just use his little baskets and pick up his toys. If I'm done in the kitchen for the night, I'm going to make sure there's not a bunch of stuff on the counters or sink. A lot of this is in the daily 6. So I'm already kind of resetting and shutting down rooms by doing the daily 6, but I just wanted to throw that in there. Like I will do a little bit of tidying up that's not on the daily 6. It happens to be very minimal, just like my additional basket method maybe is something else that I do. In the grand scheme of things, I'm cleaning my house for less than an hour, maybe less than 45 minutes every single day. My daily 6 takes me 30 minutes. And then when you factor in all the different room resets, again, a few more minutes on top of that. It's really, the more often you stick to a cleaning routine, like my daily 6 or like the 6-10 list, the more time you find to do other tasks if you want to, the more time you find to rest or whatever, but it's all real preventative maintenance cleaning, and it's stuff that you need to make sure you're doing every day. Again, just because you don't like it doesn't exclude you from the fact that you have to do it. So you want to make it as easy as possible. You want to pick the tasks that are going to make the most impact on your house with the least amount of effort. For me, that's my daily 6 for the most part. You play around with it, see what works for you, see what you find is something that's needing done every day. It's going to be different for every house. You know, we all have different ages of children. If we even have children, we are different ages ourselves. Maybe we're married, maybe we're single, whatever. So like I said, just play around with it. See what works for you. See what you need to do every day. Don't overdo it. Don't go crazy. Just find your maintenance tasks that must be done and do those. Focus on those. Once you get to do those really well or quickly, then you can start doing other stuff, stacking onto it, whatever. But for me, that's my daily cleaning routine, those 6 tasks, and then a little bit of room resets with the basket method, but that is it. I hope this video helped you. I didn't do like after shots of everything. I'm not really sure why, but my home is, as you can imagine, tidy at the end of every evening. I don't like to go to bed with a messy house. Remember my video on margin and deficit? You go to bed with a messy house, you wake up in a deficit, and then you are already feeling the next day, right? So I don't go to bed with a messy house or anything, but I don't overdo it either. So I hope this video helped you. If you found it helpful, if any of this content resonated with you, please like, subscribe, comment, all the things, and I will see you all in my next video.